I wish you could have been with me. Just like 20 minutes ago, I was picking up my Chinese food.
Oh, you got some Chinese food.
Yeah, it's got a place down the street.
Yeah.
It's walking in. It's like, bulletproof glass and everything.
Yeah.
This drunk white girl walks in. She's been like hammered. And she's got like her phone out with her charger. She's like, "Can you please charge this?" She's just like begging this lady behind the counter. And it like went on for like 10 minutes.
Wow.
She's like, she keeps sitting down and like crying. And then she gets back up and she's like, "Please, I just want to go home."
Wow.
And it's like, I mean, this neighborhood. Look,
Yeah.
you have different choices in this neighborhood of what kind of business you want to go into in terms of race. There's a Chinese restaurant. There's a Spanish restaurant. There's
not an English
one. There's Spanish restaurant. Then there's, Arab guy on the bodega. And then there's white guy at dive bar.
Yeah.
So it's like each of these businesses, you know who you're running into.
Yeah.
I cannot believe of all four of those options, she chose Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
You cannot pick a less sympathetic person.
Right.
Who's going to help. This person is, there was zero chance that phone's getting charged.
Well, now, if it was a Chinese man, he
No.
might have charged it. You don't think?
There's a Chinese man. He wouldn't even ask. This dude would figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that dude would walk to Port Authority from here. He would not be like.
No. I mean, if she asked a Chinese man, yeah, you're right. No, a Chinese man would have definitely walked to Port Authority.
No, I mean.
But you don't think if it was a young 20-year-old Chinese boy, pretty white girl?
Yeah, pretty white girl.
But she's crying. That
but
takes a couple
like
points.
7:30 at night. It's like, what is she? She's like hammered.
She probably got
She's
kicked
like
out of the bars.
Getting woozy. Still, I mean, it's like she can get kicked out of every bar in the neighborhood.
These bodegas
Go to
aren't
that.
charging your phone.
Yeah, I mean, I think
You only have one option, a bar.
go to the dive bar.
That's the only option.
There's dive bars in the area. You shouldn't get kicked out of all of them. So it's like,
But
you go
you
in
know
there
what?
and you act sympathetic, or even if you just sneak around, you could find a charger.
Yeah, I feel like some of these bars over here, they're kind of brutal too because it's all gay bars over here, and they'll
That's
kind
not
of.
all gay bars, and a lot of them are crowded too. So
Yeah.
it's like a regular looking girl. This isn't like a streetwalker.
But she was crying, hammered.
She was drunk, clearly. But it's like, also, it's like, I did feel bad for her, but it's like, what are you going to do?
You could have let her up here to charge the phone.
No, this girl was like, she couldn't even like more than one block. It's like, this girl's going to fall down and like, she's not getting back up.
Damn.
But it was so funny that she chose that place of all the places in the neighborhood. And it's like, I bet you it's been probably like an hour at this point. She's probably still there. And that lady behind the counter has not budged 1 inch.
Yeah. The fact that she wouldn't give up, like I would go in a place, oh, no, or, you understand it's not happening. You go to another one.
Well, the problem is that drunk people, once they sit down, they don't want to get back up.
And is she familiar with the neighborhood? Maybe she doesn't realize there's a laundromat right there. That would be her best bet. That's where everybody charges their phones.
There's places you can make it work.
That 24-hour laundromat's the easiest one.
That one, or there's lots of bars, there's restaurants, there's places where like you're gonna get somebody who might feel bad for you, or is like, oh, I've been in that position before. Let me just pay it forward, because all this girl wanted was to someone for like 5 minutes to charge, just enough to catch an Uber.
Yeah.
But like, that lady behind the counter was like, I could see the outlet behind the counter where they got all their phones charged. And it's like, no, that shit is not getting in there.
Not the the Hungry Burrito place. They know English over there. But dude, you got to know Spanish to communicate with the people at these restaurants.
I think honestly, I mean, even the white dive bar might be a little bit tricky because sometimes they get, strict about stuff.
They
but
are, yeah.
I think the Spanish restaurant is by far your best option if you're looking for sympathy in this neighborhood.
Yeah, or that dive bar right there. But I feel like that dive bar for a girl, it would be good because there's a girl bartender, the one that's right on the end.
But even if you go to like the regular chicken and rice place, music playing, people are drinking, it is more of like it's a more fun vibe.
It is, but the chicken and rice place, I just left there. That's what I just had for dinner. And I ask for chicken all the time. They don't understand it. It's a chicken and rice place. I point chicken. They don't. Boyo chicken, quarter chicken. They never
well, the
get
problem is that you're asking for a specific kind of chicken.
Yeah.
You're not just nobody. There's the reason why they always confuse your order is that nobody goes in there and just gets that.
Right.
You get chicken and rice.
Yeah.
And you get like you get a whole chicken for like you and your family.
Yeah.
It's not just a single guy that's asking for. It's like the Chris Rock thing asking for a single chicken wing. It's like you can order that. It's just a weird thing to order. So it's like you're the only guy the entire day that asked for a quarter of a chicken.
Yeah, it's like because they'll give you about 4 pounds of rice.
Well, they want you're supposed to go in there with your family.
Yeah.
You're ordering something like off menu, so they gotta like do math in their head how much this costs.
It's always. I need to learn how to say half bollo, or how do you say half in Spanish?
Medio.
Isn't bollo chicken?
Pollo, half medio. Media. It's like a median.
Oh, so if I go media bollo,
I always go like this, media, so they know. I always get a half chicken.
Has you been in this neighborhood for a while?
Well, just think logically. They know you don't want to get the whole chicken,
Right.
but it's like if you go like this, you only slice it once. You only cutting that
And
chicken
you can't
in two
really
parts.
do the quarter. You'll confuse them.
Yeah, I don't get a quarter of a chicken. You get half a chicken. It's like I think $8 or something.
Huh.
Pretty good amount of chicken.
Yeah, you're right, because you got to talk with your hands in those cultures.
Well, those cultures, I mean, like it'd be much easier for you if your order was just like chicken over rice,
Right.
rice and beans.
Yeah, they got that.
They
one
got
all
that
day.
shit. That shit's muscle memory. But it's like once you make them do math, where it's like, how much am I going to charge this guy? Because it's like you're getting half of a half.
I can never do the rice because I'm like, I'm trying to lose weight, but in general, I don't like throwing that much food away.
It's too much.
I'm never gonna eat that much rice, dude. It's like a comical. It's like you would never.
Even
that would
if you
feed a
get like
family of five.
you get like the beef steak over rice sometimes, and it's like they put the rice in first.
Yeah.
And you're just watching it like, how could you possibly put anything on top of that?
Right.
Yeah, this is gonna be that doesn't add up.
Well, a girl told me, she goes, when that rice gets hard from sitting a day, she's like, just put water and oil on top of the stove. But it's like, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, what am I
For a day of
reheating
rice?
rice?
Yeah.
What am I, like a farmer? Yeah.
Oh man.
Drunk people though, they always like it's nothing worse than a drunk person who's trying to ask for something.
And
Because
the other person
they can't
doesn't-
just they can't just be a regular person and ask you.
Yeah.
It's got to get all dramatic. They got to
Huh.
make a whole scene out of it.
Wow.
And it's like, this is not like I'm sure you deal with this all the time, being around drunk people.
Yeah.
And it's like, a situation when somebody's just trying to get to the front of a bathroom line, and you got to like beg 4 different people to do you a favor. Those drunk people, they never go about it in like a logical way.
Dude, there was a drunk dude on the ship 2 weeks ago, the last ship I was on. And that comedian is like very popular comedian in New York. I don't think I never told you this story. Actually, I've been meaning to tell you. AJ White or whatever.
I don't know.
Okay, well, he's a very popular comedian in New York. Like, plays Gotham, plays everywhere. It might be AG or AJ White. But, dude, I see him everywhere. Like, he's like a reputable comedian. Like, hangs out with the big dogs like Tracy Morgan and stuff.
Okay.
So I met one of his really good friends on a ship, and dude, he calls him. The dude's like, dude, it's like 2 a.m, and he's on speaker, and AG's like, I hear him. He's like, what's up, man? Is everything cool? He goes, oh yeah, do you know Dominic Leonelli? Dude, it's just dead silence.
Wow.
For 2 minutes. This dude don't know me. And then this dude gives me AG's personal phone number. He's like, man, call him tomorrow. I'm like, he was drunk. He couldn't get. I'm like, dude, I can't just call this guy out of nowhere. I'm like, don't call him. He's like, I'm calling him. 2:30 a.m, bothering this dude.
Wow.
I'm waiting to see the dude in public. But it's a perfect example of, you can't tell a drunk person nothing. Whatever they want to do, they're doing it.
And not only that, but when you just you make a regular request, like, no, don't do this right now, they start taking it personally.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah, no, and they do. He's showing me pictures in his phone. He's like, look, no, motherfucker. You don't understand. This dude is my brother. Show me pictures.
They start taking off their shirt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He was one of those white dudes that was real proud to have a black wife, and he's like, that's what his whole persona was. I'm like, I never just picked a certain one type of woman, but he's like, me, only black. That's me, man. I can't, man. I don't fuck with no white girls.
Wow.
I'm just like, dude, what are we doing here? He's like 53 years old.
Wow. Once you combine that too with just drinking, because it's also drinking. It's like when you have somebody who really wants to brag and tell you something. Once you get that guy drunk,
it's
like, good luck.
And then
this dude is on a mission to tell you.
Dude, he's showing me stuff like his cars. Dude had money. Yeah, you're right. You just can't get away from him. Spit's all going on your lip. Dude, I'm around drunk people 24/7. I don't even know what to tell them. I was just with I met some friends on this ship, and the girl just goes in the Bahamas and buys Coke, and she's all like, it's baby powder.
Oh.
She leaves it in her room. She couldn't even get in trouble because it was baby powder.
Oh, wow.
It's just insane. Imagine that. You get caught with baby powder. The cop's probably more mad than the person because the cop can't even do nothing to you.
Right. Well, just imagine too. It's like that transaction. What's that transaction like when you're buying fake drugs and you're that drunk?
Yeah.
There's just some Jamaican guy who's just like, does he feel bad for her? Kind of.
I doubt it.
He's just like,
dude.
but
He's
it's like
selling her fake dope.
Yeah.
He probably
There's
went
got to
and
be a moment in his head where it's like, this is a little bit too easy right now.
Well, you know what it is? You get some of these people coming on these ships and they go to other islands, and I don't think they realize, like, bad shit could happen to you. Like, because we're in America, it's like we're kind of blanketed. I mean, bad shit happens here too, but nothing like in DR. Or
well,
the
there's nobody who's going to save you there.
Right.
There's no like regular police force.
Dude, you get these people coming off this ship, like some 25-year-old white girl or something. They'll just ask everybody, "Can we get some drugs? We want some coke." And I'm like, you're asking to get ripped off.
Yeah, it's people who aren't used to like getting pushback on things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, can you just imagine how much crazy drama in the world just wouldn't happen if people weren't this drunk all the time?
Oh, yeah. Well, and over here, they govern it. Like, you know that too, right? We're only allowed a certain level of alcohol. Like,
oh, yeah, we can't overserve somebody. Yeah.
No, our alcohol is weaker.
Oh,
in
yeah,
America.
yeah. It's just not proof. Yeah, the proof is lower.
If you go to, like, where we were just at, dude, a girl fell asleep on the sewer, 2 drinks.
Wow.
It's like people don't realize.
Well, it's like you're going to a place where they tell you not to drink the water.
Yeah, so exactly.
You're also dehydrated. It's like all you can do is drink rum.
Wow.
So
I didn't think about that.
It's like 100 degrees outside. So it's like all your body is taking in is alcohol at that point.
Yeah, dude, I seen a girl just sound asleep on the sewer, dude. And a few people were trying to wake her up. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
But I kind of know what happened because it happened to me when I first went out of the country and I learned that.
Yeah.
In Jamaica, I learned that the hard way. No water, can't drink the water in Jamaica.
Yeah.
100 degrees, and and I learned that there, dude. I had 2 pineapple rums, but I know they overserve you a little over there because the drink's like $22. They're giving you more than a shot of rum.
Right.
And dude,
well, it's that combined with being it's hot outside.
2 of them.
You're in a weird place. Yeah.
So I mean, it was, if you think about it, it was $44 worth the alcohol. Like it's $22 a thing. It's a pineapple with just like rum and pineapple juice. And dude, I had 2 of them. Next thing I know, I'm outside in Jamaica. I wake up in my room, dude, and then I'm like, what the hell? Did I message my buddy? He's like, bro, I was worried about you. He's like, we handled it well, but you can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? Dude, I don't. He's like, yeah, dude, I had to walk you back to your room. Wow. He's like, I told people you had food poisoning. I'm like, what?
Wow.
He's like, dude, you were hovering over a trash can for like 20 minutes. I don't remember none of it. That's how strong that alcohol is.
Wow. Yeah, it's like, when's the last time you got that kind of drunk?
Never. And I'm a drinker. Like, dude, I drink. I can put it down.
Yeah.
And to think 2 of those had me, I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I think it's also like you're in like a place that's unfamiliar. It's different if you're like in a place where if you're like near your house or something, then it's like you're not going to get the same kind of drunk. But you combine drinking and just being in a foreign land.
Yeah.
And it's like too much stuff can go wrong.
You could wake up in prison for life or disappear.
Ah, yeah, right.
I always see these guys, it's always like these car salesmen. They take these cruises to it's all sales, and these sales jobs, when you hit a quota, you take your people out. So I always run into these old guys, and like the Ensenada one I'm going to, that their whole thing is they take it to go pick up hookers. And I'm like, telling them, like, dude, you got to be careful. Like, I know Ensenada is probably more of a safer part of Mexico because it's touristy. I'm pretty sure people are still disappearing in Ensenada, though.
Well, yeah, I think that's like the kind of place where I think it is. It's more like controlled.
Yeah.
That the cartels probably aren't like coming after you there.
I think
but it is also just like nobody wants trouble in those kinds of places.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep things quiet. But yeah, also it's like there are other things that can go wrong.
You're banging a hooker in a basement.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's no regulations on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's about to happen.
I couldn't imagine it.
I think it's honestly, if If you take away the alcohol out of that, though, it's like I wonder how many of those guys would still go through with it.
They want it.
If they were sober.
Mm-hmm.
If you just had to like drink a Sprite.
You would really quick realize how wrong it is.
You'd just be in a room. Like, man, what is this room that has bad lighting?
Yeah, I went with my buddy one time because he was scared. He was scared he was going to... I don't blame him, dude. He was scared something was going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I just went with him, and it's a dirt floor.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, you just bang somebody on a dirt floor like in...
Wow.
Imagine, can you I don't think you could ever not worry about that. I guess you wear protection.
You get tested, and it's, I think you realize if you're out, still.
It is a strange thing.
Well, I think it's just like, not only that, I think you just wouldn't, especially if you're sober, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
Right.
You would never be fully in the moment because you're always worrying about that door flying open,
Mm-hmm.
Danny Trejo coming after you.
Yeah, and he told me they don't do cash. They want a credit card, and that's how they waxed him. I guess they got him for $300. You ain't gonna. They told him $100. You ain't gonna argue with.
What kind of hooker doesn't take cash? Yeah, what kind of country is this?
Yeah, they waxed him, and they got him for $300.
Wow.
He was back on the ship mad.
I'm pretty sure he could have negotiated that situation.
If he did cash, $150, quick one.
Yeah. Well, it's like any of those things. There's no price tags on the wall. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
That's the reason why cash is still like, yeah.
Cash is always king.
Cash is king. Cash is never going to go away.
You don't think cash will ever go away?
No.
I don't know, dude. I think it's going to go away.
No, too many people are like relying on this system to work out like this. This entire neighborhood would be desolate if everything was on paper.
I feel like I could see cash going away, though.
I mean, they're trying to phase it out.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why so many transactions still have to take place. The economy would freeze up because we need people to be giving each other money and things to be circulating.
And honestly, I don't know. I feel like we're just printing money. I mean, do you think that we could actually cover the money that we have? I think the reason the reason we'll probably always have cash is because the government's going to print more cash because they need that stuff floating around.
Well, when they print cash these days, it's not physically printing cash. They just turn a dial, and then now there's more money in the bank.
What?
And then the banks are... Well, I mean, if you go to the bank, it's like Venmo. You're sending money from one account to another account.
Wait, they're not like printing out $100 bills?
They are, but it's like the vast majority of the money that's coming into the economy isn't actually physically... There's no... If you think about whatever the balance is in your bank account, there's not that corresponding amount of cash in the system if we all add it up. Because why would you?
Right.
Because all you got to do... Most money these days is just transferring from one account. The number goes down, the number goes up over here.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't really go through with it. But there is still so much of this economy that relies on things not being tracked. How many hookers would go out of business?
Right.
Yeah. How many
and
drug
that's
deals
the economy.
would be going?
Drugs is the economy.
How many drug deals wouldn't be happening if it was still, you actually had to write a check or something?
Yep. Yeah, dude, I need to start doing more cash actually because I see it. I get burnt sometimes in these other countries. I know I get overcharged and I'd rather just hand people cash like in places so I know. I don't want to see something. You know what I hate? And it just happened to me. Sometimes it takes forever for shit to come out of your bank. Like,
oh, yeah.
You just be somewhere and you'll get hit with a $130 Uber that you took 3 weeks ago. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you got no idea what's going on.
My back is hurting, dude. So I had to take this flight. We're sitting on the runway just now because the compartment with the luggage was broke. And, dude, I don't want to sound wrong when I'm saying. So this is what happened. I was asking to change seats, but there was no more seats, right? Uh-huh. But I had to literally sit like this, dude, the whole cruise. Or the whole thing. Because I was between two big girls.
Yeah.
Dude, and I'm not being
Middle
funny,
seat.
but it was like, dude, they were both in my seat. Like, their arms and stomach were on my back and their arms and stomach were on my chest. And she's eating, just rocking my chest. And, dude, I'm just sitting there. And she's just, she's like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be quick. And she ate for 2 hours. And so I stand up to use the bathroom right before the flight, though. This is what bothered me. I'm like trying to be polite about it because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but also like, dude, I can't take, I was like this. Of course. So I said, hey, I asked the steward. I stood up just to act like I was going to use the bathroom right before the flight took off. I told the flight attendant, I said, hey, can I get another seat? I was like, I can't fit in my seat.
Yeah.
And she seen what was going on. She didn't believe me at first, and then she walked over and seen. And then I came back up after she seen it. I was like, I'm sorry, there was the seats for the stewards, one right there. I was like, can I please take that seat? Because I can't even.
Right.
She's like, no, you would have to just wait for the next flight. And I'm like, me? Like, how's this my fault? I can't fit in my seat.
Well, I think legally you can't fly in the flight attendant seat.
Oh, so that's what that was.
No, that's I'm sure that's a liability for them.
Huh.
I mean, they have to keep that reserved. It's not like the flight attendant's going to take that spot between those fat people.
Right.
So they got to sit somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Take off. So it's like.
But why do I got to? Shouldn't it be, hey, you guys got to take another flight?
I guess. I mean, you did fit in the seat.
It was very uncomfortable. I mean, dude.
Oh, you didn't.
I mean, dude. I would have took a picture if I could just see their arms. I'm telling you, bro. Meet here and meet here. I was like this. It's just,
I mean, you did make it though.
I pulled it off.
You got to the other side, so it's not like you can't sue them for that. Yeah, but still, now we're talking a different conversation.
Yeah,
but it's like no, it's also you can't. It's not like those fat people were comfortable.
Yeah,
they were equally uncomfortable because they're also pressed against you. So it's
right. But I'm like, why should I have to take another flight?
You don't have to take another flight.
Right. I mean, you could just sit there.
It.
Yeah,
you took it.
I mean,
clearly, you see who has the power in the situation because you did just take it. You know.
Yeah.
You took what you were given.
Yeah, I took what I was given.
Yeah.
And that was that.
How big? I mean, like.
Oh, dude. I mean, dude, they were big.
How many pounds do you think?
400.
Wow.
Big, tall.
Usually for them, though, they make them buy 2 seats. That's usually the policy.
That's what I was wondering.
I always hear about that.
Dude, I highly doubt that's the policy because, I fly all the time.
What airline
and this happens a lot. Delta. A good airline, yeah.
Well, maybe it's like if you fly Southwest or something, they make...
You know what they did, too? They oversold the plane on Delta. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
luckily, I got on.
Yeah, I mean, all those, everything... They're all bad like that.
That's just insane. They go, yeah, it was 2 people, and they were trying to get people to switch because it was a couple. And they were like, yeah, we only have 1 more seat.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, at least you got on the flight.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to deal with it.
And I barely made it, too.
Yeah.
I was like and I had a ticket, too.
Oh, wow.
I had a ticket, but I was at the, I'm like 8, the last one. Because they book our flights last minute, so when they call your groups. I was the very last group.
Oh, wow.
And they had to check my bag and all that.
Just think how those 2 fat people were so excited to have that empty seat between them at first.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, man.
Oh,
we lucked out. And they see you waddling down the aisle.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, man. They were like, the one girl just ate the whole entire time.
Where was this coming from?
This came from Orlando.
Oh, wow.
And I was trying to be polite. They were nice. They were still wearing their Mickey Mouse ears. I think they were sisters.
Oh, wow. Well, you got to think, too. It's like they were probably at Disney World for the weekend. And so the entire time they're at Disney World, they're too fat to be in the rides.
Oh, yeah.
So finally they get on the plane where it's like, oh, we got a little room to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, it was...
They got to get these... I mean, like, everything needs to be bigger.
Dude, it's America.
They got to figure out a way. Yeah, man, reality, people are not going to lose weight.
Right.
As much as we want the situation to be like, they'll fix it on their own. They'll see that they're too big for the seat and they'll adjust. That's not happening. Make the seats bigger.
Like, these ships are built in Italy, right?
Yeah.
And the elevator says 18 people. Dude, the elevator is like 4 feet by 4 feet. So the maximum weight's like 3,000 pounds. You do the math. That means each person has to weigh 160 pounds.
Wow.
It's like, dude, that's never going to happen. In a game of average, on a cruise?
These are cruise ship people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to, I think you got to budget out at least 250 plus.
Dude, you can fit 4 or 5 people in the elevator. And it says 18.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be like, well, you got a budget for like each person weighing between 250 and 300, and you got a budget for them to be in wheelchairs. Like these people aren't all going to be standing up.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Coming from, a cruise, like especially this cruise, this was like a big eating cruise, I feel like.
That's where they put them.
Yeah. It was like a short Bahamas one.
Bahamas to Florida?
Yeah, you get the Florida to the Bahamas, the 3-day. You'll notice it's a lower level. It's like a lower level payment. Like, like if you're, a lot of times you'll see the difference in people. Like if you're going to an Alaskan cruise.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Not going to be that many big people. They're all like scientists and they want to learn shit. Or like Iceland or even Europe.
They're not like partiers.
Yeah, and Europe is more of a cruise where these people know they have to walk. But when you do the 3 days in the Bahamas, you're not walking nowhere. nowhere.
They're just getting on the ship and they're getting.
Well, you know what they do? They have a ramp, so you see the people in the chairs, dude. I feel bad. Like, you'll see 7 or 8 like Filipino guys pushing everything to ramp this thing up.
Oh, wow.
And the guys will be like, come on. They'll tip them like $2 or something.
Wow.
But, dude, you'll see them screaming, like, sweating. Like, you know, they're really trying, dude, with all their might.
They got to figure out a way. I mean, that's just a design issue, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's a ramp like
but
this.
But it's like you got to figure out a way to make the dock up here.
Yeah, you need that shit going.
Just send them down into the half pipe.
Yeah.
Just dump them out and let them slide down.
Dude, you see it. And then also you're like, you want to go too. You want to get off the ship or you want to get back on the ship. Sometimes that could take 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because the people, dude, you'll see it. You'll see when they got to switch out the Filipinos because it'll start going the negative way. It'll start coming back down on them.
Oh, wow.
They'll be calling for backup. Dude, it's crazy.
Wow.
But
yeah,
now,
I feel like you'd have to find some way where they could like sort of a pulley system with ropes.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna come to, dude. I seen one. I don't know if I told you about this.
Like moving a piano into an apartment.
You know, the thing with these things is like certain things like this. Whenever you have a big company like a cruise line or like even resorts, like they just follow. There's a book of rules, and you just follow that. You don't use common sense to be like, okay, this doesn't make sense.
You get graded based on how well you follow those rules.
Right. Yeah. So, dude, they had this girl's like 98 years old, and her legs didn't work, and they're trying to pick her up. She's like, my shoulder, and they're dragging her through the metal detector. I'm like, dude, what do you think this girl's really doing? You're pulling out of her wheelchair?
Oh, fair is fair.
Yeah, I guess fair.
Y'all got to go there.
I'm excited to go to Japan. It's the opposite. Like, you know, I want to see in Japan, I want to see those people getting pushed on the subway. That's what I'm excited for.
You're not going to Tokyo, though, right?
No, well, I land in Tokyo.
Oh, you're taking...
I take the flight from, I think from New York to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then I'm in Tokyo for like 4 hours, or the night. I think I might be in Tokyo. I got to double check. I might be in Tokyo for the night. And then the next morning, I think I fly to another part of Japan.
Oh, wow. And then you get on the ship there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see the same, like, fatties on this ship.
Oh, dude, I highly doubt it.
That would be a pretty strange trip for them.
Because Japan's probably one of those places you got to walk around.
It is that, and it's hot outside, and it's like tight spaces and stuff. So it's like it's not situated well for the big fellas. Although there are sumo wrestlers.
Oh yeah.
So it's like that is part of the culture. It's like there's a couple big guys, but they are like I think when you see like a real big guy there, it's like this must be somebody important.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like we got to revere this person.
It's true, dude. I heard that from a girl actually, but she was in She was from the Philippines. The girl that calls me Babalu. She was like, it's respected if you could be fat. It's a good thing because you got money, you could eat.
Well, yeah, you're also like, the fat person, you're not like working for somebody else.
Right.
That's got to be the boss.
Yeah.
Somebody's working for him. So it's like, also, it's like, it's such a pain in the ass to get around. It's like, this dude must be like, he's had a hard life. Yeah. It's not like here where you're just getting DoorDash and you just
Dude,
things are coming to you.
Talk about a hard life. I was hanging with this this cruise was a fun cruise, and I was hanging with this older gentleman, about 65 years old, and used to play football. I guess he played college football somewhere, and either way, Texas, he played college tech. But dude, his knee was the size of a basketball, and he's a skinny dude now. He's older, he's tall and skinny, and he's like, oh yeah, that's water, I gotta go get it drained.
Wow.
And dude, it's just literally, dude, he can't put pants on. Like, dude, it's like a basketball.
It's like a tumor almost.
Well, I guess it's just water in the knee.
Oh yeah, huh?
Isn't that crazy?
But that's like
it's
from like a condition or something, or it's like
just having a bad knee, I guess.
Oh wow.
Well,
some people get that, like if you eat too much salt, your ankles swell up.
Oh yeah, mine do.
Yeah, but some people get like bad, where they can't even they gotta waddle around.
On the long flights, I'm limping.
Oh wow.
My ankles will balloon up on a 13-hour flight.
But just imagine if you're just like Ralphie May.
Oh, I don't know how these people
do. Where it's like, yeah, dude, that's got to be like, it's a math problem everywhere you go.
I'm 30 pounds overweight, and when I tell you, I'm uncomfortable all day.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being 330 pounds overweight.
Even if you buy 2 seats on that plane, it's like you still got to get up the aisle.
Yeah.
You still got to get into the airport. Yeah, what a mess.
I couldn't imagine being like that and being in this city, though. Being in New York, you can't even...
Yeah.
I lived with a dude for 1 month in Queens. He was so big he wouldn't leave. He would text me, and I would have to go get his food when DoorDash would bring it.
Yeah.
He would just text me, and he would just open up his door and hand me the tip or whatever sometimes, or if it was like a cash thing. But it was like, dude, you're inconveniencing me. Like, I'm a nice guy, but enough's enough.
Well, this is just like, I mean, you could pull that off in Ohio.
Yeah.
You could pull that off in a car-centric area or something where it's just like your house. But it's like if you're anywhere, you're dealing with anything in the city. Yeah. Just getting on the train.
It's actually pretty cool in Ohio when you're big like that. I like seeing them big dudes whip their car around. You know, they always big dudes always have money. They're good at budgeting. Like they'll have a nice silver chain. They'll have like a nice car.
But that, like, especially if they're driving like that kind of Oldsmobile Chevy where it's like it's sinking in the back.
Yeah.
The back is all bouncing up and down and shit, and they're just like,
And they'll whip the shit out of it, and they always got a nice haircut.
Yeah. Yeah, the hair is sharp. Look in the backseat of their car, it's all bags and shit. Yeah, it's a bunch of fish fillet bags.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what's crazy to think about? Because you look at, like, I don't know if you get into stuff like this. When you look at a cruise ship, I think just like mechanically, how can something like that float? You ever think about that?
I always wonder
how does something like this, I don't even understand like the math. How does something go into the water and not sink?
When you see them from a distance, like when you see, because sometimes we'll be on the water, we'll all pull out. Yeah. Like 4 cruise ships will pull out. They're so top heavy. And I've seen them in dry dock. The bottoms aren't that big.
Yeah.
It's just good engineering or something.
But it's like it's some sort of magic trick to make it float. But I always think what's crazy too is that when like bunch of fat people get on the ship in Miami and it's going to, Jamaica or something. They're on the ship and they're all eating, but the weight of the ship remains consistent because all that food was already on the ship.
Oh,
now that food is just in their body, but the weight of the ship is still, the same.
Yeah.
So it's not until they get off until they dump the waste or something from the boat that the actual weight leaves the ship. The calories are still, in the system.
It's all in there.
That's pretty crazy to think about.
I'll tell you, it's damn, what was I just gonna say? Yeah, man, something about the food in there.
But just thinking about airplanes already. That's kind of like if a little kid has to explain to me, if I have to explain how an airplane works, I can get about halfway there.
Yeah.
But there is still part of it where it's like this is just somebody thought this through. But to me, cruise ship is even more impressive than airplane.
Yeah.
Airplane, I can still kind of figure out how lift works, and it's just a very strong engine. But how could that big-ass Titanic thing still even stay in the water for a second?
I know. Hey, dude, I wonder the same thing, to be honest with you. That is a very good question. And they go now I remember what I was going to say. So I don't know if this was true or not, but somebody just told me it burns like 50 million cars, like every hour that a cruise is going. It's the equivalent of 50 million cars driving an hour. Or something insane like that. I gotta Google it.
I'm sure you gotta think about what kind of energy has to power something that big.
I've never seen the engine, dude. I'm such an idiot, dude. We were in Alaska, and I'm getting all excited. I'm telling all the comedians, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to Alaska. I'm going to an engine tour. I didn't even know they had, like, real engines like that. And he's like, what are you talking? Were you engines? And I'm like, yeah, the engine tour tomorrow at 11. He's like, that's the ship engine. Dude, I was so excited to see, like, I didn't realize how racist it made me look, because you're not supposed to call. I just seen engine tour. I didn't think that they would show us the engine of a ship.
Wait, why is that racist?
Why you're not supposed to call an Indian engine?
Oh, you thought it was like a Native American?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just I don't even know how that's not even like a mix-up. That's insane to me. That would even cross your mind.
I was just so excited.
That's weird to me too that they make a. Did they actually go on a tour to show you the?
No, well, I didn't. I probably should have checked it out. Maybe I'll do that next time. Well, the reason it crossed my mind is because I'm in Alaska a lot, and I got to meet. Like, I'm over there. I'm in Alaska overnight, so I'll go to the bars and I'll meet the Native Americans, and I've met them. Like, I've hung out with Native Americans in Alaska, so I just like real deal Native Americans, like that are still like real Native Americans.
Yeah,
and. So I just figured, like, hey, I guess that's what they're doing.
Just touring?
Yeah.
Giving the white man a tour of the ship?
Because you'll see them where they got the things, them poles and all that, and they're speaking a different language. Like, you'll meet their family and the arrowheads out of stone. Like, they're legit.
Wow. Well, you got to figure if they're up there, too. They must know how things work.
Yeah.
They probably live off the land and
Yeah, Juneau, like the rainforest, that's where you'll see them at.
Oh, wow.
And like wearing real bear skin. And how about in Alaska, there's like a 14-year-old selling guns. He's like, I just got to get somebody over here to do the purchase because I got to be 16 to sell it to you. I'm like, that's insane that you guys could just sell guns over here, like everywhere. Like if we walked outside, if this was Alaska, the way we got weed stores, you could buy like coal, or you could buy like a Gatorade and a 9mm or a knife. It's just everywhere sells it.
Well, I guess if you're just up there, it's like, what are you doing with that gun? You're not who are you going to rob?
Yeah.
Another gun person?
And dude, I'll tell you what, you ever want to feel insecure? Those Alaskan men, like the real cowboy hat, 6 foot tall, just jacked for no reason. They wrestle bears. Dude, these guys are real life lumberjacks. They'll climb up trees and cut them down. They're just ripped.
Yeah.
You have no chance you'll impressing your girl. Don't bring her to Alaska. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, but these are also like, they're Alaskan, but they're also like, rednecks.
I don't know, dude. I'm telling you, women love these dudes.
Yeah, but if you're into like a lumberjack or something, but it's like, this isn't like fucking.
Yeah, if you're into a 6'4" dude with a huge, massive muscles, that's.
Yeah, that lives in Alaska.
I mean, but Alaska's beautiful.
No, but people, it's not New York City though. I don't think.
Oh, but I guarantee you, she wouldn't mind going on a date with that gentleman.
This is how your brain works.
You gotta see. No, I witnessed it.
I'm not. I know what you mean. I mean, I'm sure these are good-looking guys, but it's also like this is a specific type of dude.
There's times I was with a girl.
It's the same way if you go to Jamaica. It's like, these dudes. Yeah, there's these Jamaican guys that are gonna fuck this woman, but it's like you're not gonna lose your girl to Jamaica. Or it's like,
I mean, you could,
but you're not going to. That's not how that works.
You know what?
That is a one-time thing.
But you'll lose her emotionally. She'll always think about that Jamaican dude on the stilts.
Yeah, good for him. He deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
Those things with Alaska, though, what's crazy about Alaska is that, like, it's almost like a socialist country up there, where it's like if you live in Alaska and you're like a citizen in Alaska, you just get a big-ass check from the government every year from, like, the oil.
Yeah.
Everybody's just, like, has money.
Yeah, they live off that. Yeah, they do. I talked to a few of them, and the houses aren't even that much. I mean, that's what's crazy.
There's so much open space.
Well, the houses are a little expensive. We looked up a place that was a little bit of a shithole. But honestly, dude, when you look at the price of houses in general, like $300,000-$400,000 isn't that much. Like, you probably couldn't even get a place in Jersey City for that.
No,
I'm sure you can't. But dude, you could live in Alaska and get paid for that oil. They do too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people move up there too. You could like work in one of those like, canning fish or something.
That's
like
what
one
they
of those,
do.
Like manly kind of jobs where you're like, you're all dirty and shit at the end of the day.
Well, they got the stores everywhere too. But yeah, you could just live off the land up there too. Like people just go right out their backyards and catch salmon.
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe
big salmons like 2 feet long.
Yeah.
Everybody's a hunter, dude. They got trucks.
Wow.
A lot of eagles up there.
Maybe that's just where you end up.
I mean, Alaska is beautiful. I like it more than Iceland. I don't know, dude. I really like Rome over everywhere I've been. Rome's still my favorite. If I could end up somewhere, I might want to end up right in Rome.
Yeah, no fatties there, huh?
No. Yeah, dude, real skinny. It's crazy. Like, there's different size Italians. I get it. There is like big Italians too, but for the most part in Rome, people smoke cigarettes so much. They don't eat. Their arms are this big and they're so cocky. They're like, get smart with you. And you're like, dude, what are you doing? You look like you're 12 years old.
Yeah, it looks cool though.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the fashion in Rome, I need to step up on that because it is up there. Like in Italy, dude, you see the guys with the big hoop earring and they'll have like some special weird jacket that you don't see over here. Makes a difference.
And I think that's the kind of culture too, where you're like, you own like 4 things. You go in that guy's closet, he has like 4 cool outfits like that, and you just keep them nice.
Yeah, and they're probably expensive as hell.
You spend a lot of money, but you only have 4 different things, and then you swap them out every once in a while.
And honestly, your outfit over there is how skinny you are, because dude, I'm telling you, people are skinny. Like they don't eat.
Yeah, and then when they're riding around on just a little
little
scooter, yeah.
Or when you just see
that scooter too, you got to imagine if you're scooting around a skinny person, you're probably getting more gas mileage too.
100%.
Each liter of gas is taking you all the way across the country.
And when they smoke those cigarettes, you see their cheekbones. You know, it's like they're blowing kisses at you.
And they're like
Prego.
they're like the fancy cigarettes too.
Oh yeah, those little thin ones.
The long ones, yeah. It's not like a American Spirit or something.
It's a fun spot though. I'm going back in a couple months. I'm excited.
Wow. So you're about to be like, you picked up all these ships. Are they mostly like Caribbean stuff?
Yeah, a lot of Caribbean. But then there's I got some. I think I got Greece in there, and I haven't looked at all of them, but I got Rome and Greece for sure.
Oh wow, that'd be nice.
And then I got Alaska. I did pick up Alaska. I mean, but then the majority.
You gotta get your miles, bro.
Yeah, I do.
This is so many miles.
I know.
No, nobody probably like. There's no comics that have this many miles. If you think about it, the vast majority of comedians are flying from here to Toledo or something.
Right.
They're going to Houston. They're not going to Rome, Iceland, Alaska.
Right.
Alaska miles got to be wild.
Yeah.
Think about how far that is on a map.
I did Alaska to the furthest one I did was Alaska to Rome.
Yeah.
That was crazy. It was like 14 hours.
That is so many miles.
And Hawaii's always 14. I did Hawaii twice now.
Yeah.
I got Hawaii coming up 2 more times. Maui finally. I never got to see Maui.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you call them, they're going to be like, the guy's just going to give you a number you're not going to believe. He's going to be like tapping on his computer like something's wrong with this. There's no way this guy has this many miles he hasn't claimed yet.
Wow.
I don't think they expire like
Yeah,
quickly.
I don't think they do either. I got to do it as soon as I'm back.
It's like a year or something.
Okay, so I might have lost a year's worth.
Yeah, but it's like you got to, is it mostly Delta or is it spread out over?
Well, it was American Airlines, but they stopped using American. They switched to Delta.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to call up American. It's like they have a record of all your American flights. So
hopefully it's longer than a year, bro. I really hope, but we'll see.
They're always trying to screw you.
Yeah.
That's why you got to claim them.
Yeah, I'll start claiming them.
It's one of those things, it's like the government, where if you don't go after it, they're not going to tell you.
And here's the thing, too. It's not like I'm going to fly any less, dude. They're starting to... They dangle that carrot in front of your face, dude. They're paying me more. They know what they're doing.
But just those flights, I mean, like, if you want to, on your own time, you'll be able to fly free everywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to start claiming them.
Get upgrades.
All the comics tell me, they go, nah, man, save your miles. Get to 1 million miles.
Well, there's that too. I mean, you get a status, and then you're getting upgrades,
and then you can get inside the.
But it's like you're not going to get stuck in the back of the plane with these fatties.
I know. Yeah, dude, you're right.
I bet there's probably like a card there or something. You show the flight attendant. It's like, oh, by the way, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I gotta start claiming them because this one taught me a lesson. Like, my agent's good; they care about us enough to where they always get us an aisle seat. But this was a last-minute flight, you know. I booked this like 3 days ago.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Yeah, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle.
But yeah, once you get those, you get status, lounge access.
You know, it's crazy.
Get some extra cookies.
The girl was the girl that's all uncomfortable. She was trying to counterbalance it by accusing me of farting. Dude, I swear I did not fart. And I'm like, I don't even smell anything like to even smell like a fart. And she's like, I hear it. And I'm like, how can you hear a fart on a plane? Like, you ain't hearing that shit.
Yeah, she's got Mickey Mouse ears on.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
You got to figure this out.
Yeah, dude, I'll take do you know what I do with my miles? I'll fly us the dry salami somewhere. We'll go to Disneyland.
We fly everywhere. I think it's just, if you do the math on all this is so much. This is like flying to Australia or something.
Should we hit Disneyland up or something?
Well, just for you, just getting some free cookies at the airport and getting, finally getting some respect in the world.
And they upped our airport budget. We're allowed $25 a day now.
Oh, wow.
In food compared to 15.
25 is not bad.
25, you could at least do it.
Get a couple sandwiches.
Yeah, you can make it work.
One sandwich and some.
Yeah, you can't get a couple sandwiches.
Yeah, one good sandwich and
well, actually,
some hard-boiled eggs.
You could just go to a restaurant and still luck out and maybe spend $2 or $3 of your own money. I'm not mad about that. You could actually eat really good, like a huge
To me,
burger.
that is better than, people make such a big deal about the lounge. But it's like, for all the money you're spending just to get in that lounge, it's like, just go to the regular restaurant.
Well, I wouldn't spend the money to get... Well, the food in the lounge is better. Have you been in the lounges?
I've been in the lounge. It's nice, but it's like, it's crowded too. It's like there's people everywhere and shit. It's like you want to be able to sit down and have your own space.
Well, it depends. I don't know. Yeah, some lounges are a little crowded. It all depends, really. But, dude... You can, these lounges though, dude, I couldn't eat as much as I eat and drink in the lounge. I'd never do that in the airport. Maybe it's because you don't drink. They just got bottled. They shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
They legit have an open bar and you serve yourself in the lounge.
But you go to like a restaurant, you get a nice, hamburger.
I'll be honest with you though, the food tastes better in the lounge than it does in the restaurant. They have better chefs in the lounge.
Well, I just feel like in terms of if you want to relax, you got an hour to kill. It's like you want to sit down and relax. Sit down at the bar and watch some football. You don't want to be like, you see people waiting in line for an hour to get into the lounge.
Oh, well, I haven't seen that.
You know, they're all, well, you see a lot, JFK and everything where it's like,
well, yeah, it's the worst airport ever. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like the airports are more crowded than ever. And like there's more people qualify for the lounge than ever before.
Yeah.
Because everybody has the Amex credit card and everything.
But that Texas one's good. The ones over in Europe are really nice. They got like beds you could lay down.
But the thing with all those lounges, though, is that they got to keep raising the bar of who can get in.
Right.
Because if they're letting in too many people at this point, and everybody's mad about it.
Well, that's what they said. They said they have the Million Miler lounge. So you have to have 1,000,000 miles to get in a certain lounge. I think that's the one I've been going in because I've been going with my friends from the cruises.
Yeah.
So I probably haven't seen the lounge you're talking about. I bet you I've seen the next level lounge, the little hidden shit.
Well, there's like the private lounge.
Yeah.
Where it's like you got to be like John Legend or somebody.
Yeah. Well, these Million Mile
Shakira.
lounge dudes, I'm telling you, they're nice. It's like just great food, like big screen TVs, beds, recliners.
Well, think about how much money people are spending on these flights. Because most people are just, or how much money their companies are spending.
Yeah.
Think about how much money your company has spent on flights to get you from
trillions.
here to there. This is so much money.
If you count everybody?
Well, you count everybody and you count what it is the airline's actually giving you in return. It's like, no, they're coming out ahead.
Oh, the airline's raking it in.
Yeah. They can do whatever they want.
They're making enough money.
Yeah.
I think we can all admit the airlines could afford to take a couple seats out of the plane.
Yeah.
You know what I can't stand about flying is and I know the stewards hate it too, when the snacks come around, right? It's like they'll get on the announcement, they'll say, guys, make it quick because you got turbulence. I want my chips too. So I'm waiting, I know, okay, I'm getting sun chips and almonds. And I see them way up there and they're like, guys, we got turbulence, we got to do it quick. They got to go in the back if they can't do it quick enough. They'll name what they got 10 times. They'll go on the loudspeaker, they'll kill the microphone for everybody. Like the headphones, they'll say, guys, we don't want to have to repeat it. We have sun chips, almonds, and cookies. Every single person's going to ask what they got.
Yeah. Well, it's like everybody's got their own headphones on now. They're not tapped into.
Oh, yeah.
This is just like this is how we were talking before about everybody's in their own little world.
Yeah.
Everybody can be, and nobody's like connected together on an airplane. Everybody's like,
they're all in their iPad.
They're all in their own little zone. So, yeah, no one's even... Yeah, people are like sleeping. You got to wake him up to ask him if he wants orange juice or something.
I can't stand when the flight stewards touch me because they got gloves on. They're touching all kinds of shit. Yeah. It's like, don't touch my phone. I just washed my shirt.
Just put the chips in the bag before we get on the plane.
It's that easy.
Sit down. There's cookies in that little... Yeah.
You know what's funny? I never even thought about that, but you're a real logical thinker.
There's going to be a person sitting in this seat. Put the chips there. You don't got to come by and give it to it. They're going to go bad.
Right.
They're potato chips.
And did you see how small the bags got?
Yeah, it's a little biscotti thing on the Delta flight or whatever. It's like, yeah, put that in there. Put a bottle of water in there.
It's that easy.
Yeah. They used to do it on, I think, Southwest or Alaska, where it's like, we're all just going to, it's like a self-serve little breakfast bar.
Yeah.
Where, like, you would just walk up and you could just, yeah, they don't care. Take all the sodas you want.
You know what's so dumb to me? That they have special chips. They have the barbecue kettle cooked for the people in first class, and they won't give those to us. It's like, how petty are you being?
Well, those people in first class just paid like an extra $1,000. It's like,
yeah, I guess they deserve it.
Well, it's like gives you something to aim for. This is what, yeah.
It's so ridiculous, bro. Like, I asked for the kettle cooks. No, I'm sorry, that's for first class. I'm like, are you fucking with me right now?
Yeah.
I'm sitting like this. You can't give me some fucking chips.
You got to step your game up. Oh, it's like, yeah, what are you doing for me?
Right.
That's why you got to get in the club.
Yeah.
You got to be sitting in the front of the plane.
I would love to. I see it happens quick. A few of my friends that on these cruises that really went hard, which I'll admit, I'm going to start going harder. Dude, I had a blast last night. I did 4 shows. It's 2 hours of comedy, and one of them was in a theater in front of 1,000 people. And It was a great show because these short cruises, it's exactly like an LOL or Broadway club. If you picture the audience from LOL or Broadway, these 3-4 day cruises, it's those same people. I've been doing these long journey cruises where everybody's old, the shows are kind of brutal. there was a dude in one of my shows in Alaska. He's 92 years old, and he's walking out on me. And I'm like, oh, you don't like the jokes? And he's like, I went to a bathroom on myself. And he's front row, and it took the 20 minutes for him to walk out. Dude, he's just taking breaks, and I'm just trying to do my set.
By the time he got to wherever he's going, so things have gotten worse for him.
Oh, that shit dried up.
Dude. Oh, yeah. Tough sledding.
But those shows are a lot tougher.
So let's plug these dates then.
Plug these dates. What do we got coming up?
Japan.
Yeah, the cruise ships. I'm on the Mardi Gras. That's going to be the good one, man. I don't even know the dates, to be honest with you. Mardi Gras is coming out of Florida. It's going to the Bahamas. That's going to be May 14th. May 14th. May 3rd, I'm on the Breeze, Carnival Breeze. Come check that out.
Where's that?
That's going to be another Bahamas one. If you guys, I don't even get off in Nassau anymore. I know too many people that live. I just spent a month in the Bahamas, remember?
Yeah.
I was at the exact same place. That's Nassau. Right where the Atlantis is. That's where we just went today. I know the people on the street too good to even get off. It's like, dude, I know everybody. The taxi drivers. I've been there 100 times now.
Yeah, that's where you got to get the house, man.
I should. Yeah, Bahamas is actually expensive.
You live down there.
Well, it's crazy.
Well, that's why you open up a surf shop.
So much of the Bahamas is untapped. Like, I walked around the Bahamas heavy. Like, me and my friends, because we get tired of the everyday shit. Yeah. We're like, let's go see some crazy shit. And, some of these comics on these ships, they get away from their wife. They're all about the strip club. They want to go find a rub and tug. So you end up in bad parts of the Bahamas. But there's, like, huge buildings just abandoned everywhere for miles in Nassau.
Right.
You got to think some billionaire probably bought all that shit, and they're just sitting on it.
No, these are all guys who grew up in the Bahamas and then they started playing for the Yankees.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, they decided I'm gonna move up here and sell some chicken.
Yeah,
in New York City. I got a plan.
I could see that.
Yeah,
that's definitely a DR thing too. If you ever in DR, dude, that's all you're gonna see is people playing baseball.
Yeah, they still got it. Sammy Sosa.
There's baseball fields next to baseball fields.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody in the Bahamas, check out Dom. You're gonna be.
I'll be on the Mardi Gras.
Flying to Greece.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to Greece. I'm going
international
to Italy.
Travel.
I think I'm going to Nepal. Where's that at?